Now you can do this seated on the chair or standing, okay? Or maybe standing behind the chair. But I'm going to try to do the standing portions first today, and then we'll do the rest of the class on our backs. Welcome, Rebecca, to the class. Again, welcome to Gentle Yoga for Back Care. So I'm going to stand here with a soft bend in my knees, my toes pointing towards 12 o'clock. They're not out to the side. They're not pigeon-toed in. They're as best as I can, pointing forward. And again, a little soft bend in my knees. I'm going to find my belly button, and then I'm going to place a hand below the belly button and then a hand on top. Relax those shoulders a little bit. And let's breathe in, expand the belly outward. And as we exhale, really draw the belly button towards the spine. Contract those muscles. And again, breathe in, belly out. You're also expanding the chest when you do this. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. So we're trying to get out of our busy mind into our bodies with the breath. And again, let's breathe in, belly out. Exhaling, belly towards the spine. One more time. Here we go. Breathe in, belly out. Exhaling, belly button towards the spine. All right, I'm going to come up to the camera to show you what we're going to do. It's called golfer's grip. So, I have my fingers pointed up towards the sky. What I'm going to do is take my thumb into my palm of my hand and then fingers on top of the palm of the hand. Then what I do is I have, let me see if I can see this, the top of the wrist aligned with the forearm. So we're not going around with cocked wrists, okay? So this is called golfer's grip. And in fact, I think we do this in our chair Tai Chi. Let's change this to where it's actually golfer's grip. We have the pads of the fingers up here at the top of the palm and the thumb sticking out. And some of the fingers may not go down. Just know that, okay? So this is a very active forearm activation when we do the actual golfer's grip. This was, which one is this one? This one's the heart meridian or the blood pressure technique. And this is the one for what we're doing today. So I'm going to scoot back. And from here, if you're sitting on the chair, you're scooched away from the back of the chair and you're engaging those tall posture muscles. And again, we're pointing the toes towards the front of the room. The feet can be together, but what I have found that people are like kind of going swaying side to side a little bit when that happens. Bring them a little bit apart and a little bit more apart, okay? Let's go into that golfer's grip. And then from here, what we're going to do is draw the elbows in towards the ribs and really squeeze that upper back musculature. So we're strengthening the upper back in addition to the lower back. Again, a little soft bend in the knees. Then we'll extend the arms out into that letter T and take your thumbs and point them towards me to the front of the room. Then you're going to look at one side, then the other, and then draw a circle forward and back behind you. So these are called arm circles with those golfer's grip. It's a postural alignment movement that we do in our gentle yoga for back care. You got to really squeeze those shoulders and it might get tired, okay? Just know that. Eventually, maybe you go a little bit faster, maybe you don't. Maybe one side is more spicy. Maybe you place a hand on the hip and just do one at a time, and that's okay too. Just know that, okay? So again, a couple more times. You try to work yourself up to 40 rotations. Not today, someday. Okay, it can happen. It will happen. And then release. And then from here, we're just going to shake. We do this in our standing Tai Chi. It's called shaking gong, but we're trying to lubricate those knees, the ankles, the hips, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And we're going to go ahead and bring it skyward. And then turn a little bit side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. You may notice your exhale a little bit more forceful because you're bending those knees a bit. And then come back to the center. Let's have the hands point towards the floor, little flappy hands here. And then switch it, palms up. That's good for that carpal tunnel. Very good. Excellent. All right. And from here, clap the hands. Get a little heat into the palms, into the fingers. A little bit of circulation. This might actually help with the golfer's grip a little bit too, getting the hands a little bit warm. And go ahead and go back to that golfer's grip. Tips of the fingers into the tops of the palms, and then squeeze those shoulders, soft bend in the knees. We're going to go back and do arm circles in the other direction. So with squeezy shoulders, bring those arms out into a letter T. The thumbs were forward first. Now we're going to do thumbs up and thumbs to the back of the room. Woo, feels a little different. Look side to side, see where your hands are, yeah? And then you're going to draw circles behind you and forward. So there's this little oscillation going on from the shoulders to the hips and the feet firm into the floor. And eventually, maybe you go faster, maybe you don't. Woo! Don't forget to breathe. Squeeze these shoulders, upper back muscular strengthen happening when we do this. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. From here, shake. We'll do arm throws here with a little bend in the knees. Kind of get that energy out of our body when we were in that arm circles. And let's kind of alternate them, okay? Sometimes the arms can go a little bit higher when we're not doing them both at the same time. Don't hit the wall behind you, though, like I just did. Okay, and then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Very good. From here, we're going to do Warrior 2 posture. So Warrior 2 is where you spread the feet out and you turn a foot towards the short end of the yoga mat. Or if you're doing the seated version, you come here on the edge of the chair and step a foot out to the side. And then have your torso point towards the leg that's out in front. So whether you're doing the standing version or the seated version, the objective is you're going to feel this in your body no matter what. You're going to press firmly into the floor with your feet and then really press them to opposite ends of the room. So really plant them down. And so you're feeling the activation in the hips and the thighs, the quadriceps, the calves, the bottoms of the feet. Whether you're doing the seated version or the standing version. If you're doing the standing version, you're bending a knee and you're looking to make sure your knees align with your foot and your hips towards the front of the room. So again, you're pressing down vigorously, hand optional to hang onto the chair, and then pushing the feet the opposite ends of the room. Now, we're going to go back to the golfer's grip. Y'all going to hate me. So fingers into the pads of the hands, those letter W arms, feet firm into the floor, and then extend those arms out, thumbs to the front of the room, and draw circles while you're here in your Warrior 2 posture. Really squeeze those shoulders. Whether you're seated on the chair, standing behind the chair, not using a chair at all, or maybe a hand on the chair and doing one arm at a time. Don't forget to breathe. And then shake it out. Keep your Warrior 2 legs vigorously pressing into the floor. We're going to do side lateral flexion. So from here, just kind of shake the hands out a little bit, whether you're seated, whether you're standing, and then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Now, bring one hand down on the straight leg or the one side of the body, and the other arm, let's bring it out into a letter T. You're going to lean out and then scoop the hand up into the air. Now, your hand can go on the side of the chair. You're seated, down the leg, on the hip. Sometimes you can look where the wall meets the ceiling. If you got vertigo, you look straight ahead. Sometimes it does not feel well to look where the wall meets the ceiling. And again, we're kind of challenging those legs. We're doing a bone building posture, which is good for helping us with back challenges. You're pressing down, you're pressing away. Hello, legs. And then float the arm down, wiggle those shoulders, straighten that leg, pivot the foot. We're going to go over to the other side. So what I like to do is bring the feet in. If you're seated, you're going over to the other side of the chair, just doing the opposite of what I demonstrated earlier. Again, stepping the feet out. Maybe heel toeing out a little bit more if you've got the chair. That's why I like the chair. Lifting the heel, turning the foot towards the short end of the yoga mat, bending the knee. Get your feet firm into the floor, yeah? Then you press down and you press away. If you're doing the standing version, check to see, okay, knee aligned with your foot? Probably, most likely, yeah. Maybe you can bend the knee a little bit more, maybe not. And you know, we got to do the arm circles the other direction, right? Of course you do. So we're going to fold the fingers into the pads of the hands, the golfer's grip. Got those little hitchhiker thumbs going. Letter W, squeeze the shoulders. Again, re-engage the feet. Yeah. Arms out into a letter T. Thumbs were forward before. Now thumbs up, thumbs to the back of the room. Ooh, that's lovely, maybe. Draw circles behind you and forward. Squeezy shoulders. Did I mention squeezy shoulder? Squeezy shoulders. Woo! Again, you may want to hang on to a chair if you're feeling kind of wiggly, or if it doesn't, feel good on one side versus the other. It's okay. Do what you can with what you got. Don't forget, firm feet into the floor. To be more active, to be bone building, got to stay here 30 seconds with the feet at least, okay? 3 more. 3, I don't know how to count. 2, woo, and 1. Shake it out, wiggle it out, little shoulder shuffle. That kind of does a little lymphatic drainage when you shrug, alternating shoulders. I love it. We're still doing the warrior 2 feet though. Firm feet, push them away, whether you're seated, whether you're standing. Now we got to do side lateral flexion on the other side. We're going to get into it a different way. Arms out into a letter T, palm up over the bent knee side. You're going to lean out and bring it up into the air, hand on your hip, chair, down the leg. Woo! Again, firm footing into the floor. Don't forget to breathe. Woo! And float it down, straighten that leg, pivot the foot, walk it in. So one of the postures we do on our hands and knees is called oppositional reach or bird dog. I'm going to demonstrate that on the chair and standing on the wall or hands on the chair. So seated on the chair, let me show that one really quick, okay? Because I know we have some folks in here that are doing the chair version of the class. So you're at the edge of the chair and you're going to either with your hand or your own muscular strength lift your leg up, flex that foot, and then that opposite arm goes up. Now, maybe you can release the hand, maybe not. So you're activating those muscles in the back and maybe burping a little bit too. Now, and release that. So if you're doing this standing version of oppositional reach, there's 2 ways you can do that. All right, so those of you doing the seated version, you're going back to that original side, all right? Those of us that have a chair, we have tippy fingers on the chair. You step a foot back, you're on the ball of the foot, and then you lift that opposite arm either with a bent elbow, or maybe you can straighten the arm and take that foot, flex that heel, lift those toes off. So that is your standing oppositional reach and release. We're switching over to the other side. So whether you're seated, whether you're doing the standing behind the chair, now I'm going to demonstrate the wall version. So I'm coming up against the wall here, and I'm going to take the other arm, fingertips on the wall. I'm going to get a little bit closer here. Going to step the other foot back, be on the ball of the foot, maybe hand to my hip. I don't know, we'll have to see. And then from here, I'm going to flex that foot off the wall, maybe hand off the wall, maybe not. I'm kind of wiggly today. Whatever you can manage here. Maybe I'm going to take that same side hand on the wall and then take the other arm off and release. So you should have noticed the activation of those muscles deep in the spine. All right, so we're going to do one side each on again, okay? So go back to your original side and you choose which one you're going to do. Seated, standing, standing at the wall, standing at the kitchen table. So take a foot away and lift that opposite arm up. Flex that heel, bring those toes off. Reach, 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 opposite directions. Notice if your hip likes to turn out to the side, if you can, have the hip point as the same direction as the other foot. It may be mission impossible. And release. While we're here, in between, let's do a standing or seated cat-cow. Hands on the thighs, hands on the knees, curve your spine. So there's your cat pose. And then take your fists on your hips, push your hips forward, press your chest forward for your standing or seated cow pose. And let's go back. This is kind of like a release when you do that oppositional reach. Hands on the thighs, hands on the chair, hands on the knees, curve your spine. Get a nice little, kind of like you feel like your muscles are peeling away from your spine here. And then do either grab the back of the chair or fists on your hips and press your chest, press into your behind, or grab the back of the chair for your cow version and release. Now we got to do the second side of our spinal balance. Again, these are all postures specifically for easing back challenges, kind of challenging you with your balance also. Take your other foot, step it back, be on the ball of that foot, kind of getting, firm into the floor, firm against the wall, and then raise that opposite arm. This may be all you're doing, okay? And again, I already demonstrated the chair version, so y'all know what to do. And then I'm gonna set my foot back a little bit more and then lift my heel. Woo, I'm wiggly on this side, so I gotta grab that chair. Don't forget to breathe. And release. Let's do that cat-cow again. Curve to the back of the room, make that big old cat back. And then do fists on your hips, push your pelvis forward, your chest forward. And let's do that one more time. Bend those knees, curve that spine if you're doing the standing version. I showed this sideways just before. I'm doing it front ways now. And then fist on your hips. Beautiful. All right, I'm looking at my list because I have a very specific list for what we do in gentle back yoga and see if there's any other standing poses we could do. We could do tree pose. Let's go ahead and do tree pose, shall we? Again, it's another bone builder. It's another balance challenge. We're going to first do the Tai Chi version of tree pose. So if you're seated, maybe you can come up and stand beside the chair or not, but you're bringing the ankle bones together. Do the best you can. I got my chair here just in case, because I know I'm quite wiggly. So from here, you think about your head initiating the movement. So what we're trying to do is draw a circle with the upper body. So I'm going to try to do that. It's a very tiny circle. And you may noticing the dance of the feet when this happens. I'm going to keep that chair close by because I'm just kind of like, ooh. So this is the Tai Chi version of tree pose. So you may be noticing issues one side versus the other, especially if you do have back pain. Usually it's more than one side than the other. Sometimes it's kind of along the whole back side, okay? And then we're going to go the opposite direction. I can't quite, do this one. So if your balance is challenged, which typically it is when your feet are together, because yes, we do have maybe one side of the body that compensates more than the other. You may be noticing that in the Tai Chi tree, the swaying tree. All right, now let's move this to the balance tree. Now let me show the chair version first. If you already know this, the standing version, please do that. But if you're doing the chair version, grab your yoga block. And I'm going to have the yoga block be a little bit away from the chair because I'm going to place one foot, the ball of the foot on that chair, and the other foot, kind of the ball of the foot, and the knee out to the side. So I'm pressing vigorously into the feet. So for the seated tree, I'm able to bring my arms up easily because I don't have the weight-bearing balance issues that I do when I do standing. So this is your seated version. The standing version is you're going to, if you haven't got there already, step a foot away, lift the heel, turn the foot, one knee one direction, one knee the other, start bringing that foot in. Maybe the foot is on the floor, maybe it is into the calf, maybe it's into the inner thigh. Never the knee joint though, okay? And then if you're able, don't jut that hip out like I'm doing. Straighten the body up, bring the arm or arms up, or maybe hands on the chair or on the wall. And I've got the dance of the foot happening here. And breathe, really try to breathe. Really think about like expanding those ribs. Belly big as you breathe in, belly button towards your spine as you exhale, and release. So you know, depending, you may notice some fatigue going on with the shin, with the foot. Now we're going to do the other side. So I just move over to the other side of the chair, step that foot out, lift my heel, turn that foot, and start walking it in. Switching to the other side, moving your yoga block if you're doing the chair version. Maybe one hand, two hands, no hands. Can do this pose. If you find the knee starts to travel to the front of the room, invite the knee to go back out to the side, okay? Because we're really trying to get into all the kind of nooks and crannies of that hip musculature. Your version may look different, may feel different, left versus the right. It is what it is, yeah? Does this foot dance as much as the other foot? Maybe. Woo! And release. Sometimes people hold their breaths on tree pose, so I don't like to hold it very long because I know I like to hold my breath. So we're going to come down to the floor. I'm using my chair. So I bring it here near the edge of my yoga mat. Hike up my pants, hands on the chair, step a foot back, slowly come down to that knee. And then I'm going to adjust my yoga mat just a little bit before I come down onto my back. And then tip on over. So if you're doing the chair versions, don't scoot your booty back here in the seat of the chair. Make sure you're here at the front part of the chair to engage those tall posture muscles. And keep that chair close by because I'll need that when we come up off the floor. So I invite you to come down to lay on your back. Again, make sure you've got your yoga strap. You don't have that today. I am recording the class so that you can do the class with gear later on. All right. So we're going to lie on our back. It's called constructive rest pose. If you can do this in the bed, on the couch, on the floor, that will help ease a lot of tension out of our bodies. So let's go into constructive rest pose. So it's basically feet on the yoga mat, knees bent, and you're slowly coming down to the floor. Ooh. Now I've got scoliosis, so my left side feels more like bulky into the floor than my right. So I have to grab my wrist and roll that left shoulder up and away and replace my backside back down on the floor. And I do the same with the other side. Grab and bring it down. Now, sometimes it doesn't feel good for the back of the pelvis. I'll walk my feet towards my behind and I'll lift my backside up a little bit and re-roll my spine back on down. And sometimes I just kind of wiggle, jiggle, just get comfortable here. So again, constructive rest pose, that's kind of like a go-to posture for easing back tension. It may take 5, 7, 10 minutes for that to happen. Just kind of know that if you're trying to use this for, again, easing tension out of the spine. But just want to make sure you know this. Grab your yoga strap. We're going to do big toe hold. So grab your yoga strap and you're going to place, whether you're seated on the chair or lying on your back, take the middle place in your yoga strap and bring the bottom of the foot somehow on that strap. Now, if you're seated, you're resting the back of the heel in front of you with the strap along the bottom of the foot. And it's, elongated away. Those of us with laying on our back, foot's in the air. Bring it to a comfortable place, whether it's away from you or maybe it's more towards you with maybe a little bend in the knee or maybe softly straighten. To make this a bone building exercise, we're going to grab either side of the strap with our hands and then pull on that strap. And then we're going to take our foot, bend it a little bit, bend the knee, and then push the strap away. So you're going to feel that small of the back pushed into the yoga mat. So you're trying to be vigorous here. So when you contract these huge muscle groups in our bodies and we hold the contracted muscle for at least 30 seconds to a minute, 12 seconds, that helps to stimulate the bone for bone growth. So this is your osteopenia, osteoporosis prevention posture in our yoga class. Warrior 2, vigorously feet in the floor into our side lateral flexion was another one. Tree pose is 2 if we can hold it 30 seconds. I don't know about you, but I can't hold it 30 seconds. Just do the best I can. You should be feeling this in your hands and your forearms also. Now, if it's too much for your hand grip strength, bring your hands up your yoga strap and wrap your wrists and re-engage in pulling and pushing. Remember to breathe. Woo! Try to have your toes aligned with the top of the foot, the shin, the ankle. So no foot turning out to the side is what I'm kind of saying here. And then the other foot, let's tap, tap, tap the other foot. And with that tappy foot, we're going to drop the knee out to the side. So that's your counterweight. The leg that's in the sky or on the floor, you're going to drop it out to the side. So you're kind of making a little arc on the floor if you're doing the seated version. If that opposite hip starts to roll off the ground, you've gone too far, you need to back off a little bit. So that's why we have the knee out to the side. So this one doesn't look the same seated on the chair. You just have the leg going out to the side on this time. Again, toes towards you, contracted muscles. We got to stay here again, about 30 seconds. You get to hear me talk. Somehow I don't like to have that little, the silence, the radio silence here going on. Are both back sides of the buns on the chair on the floor. Yes, they are. Yay. Okay. How about your hands? Are they complaining yet? Mine are complaining. Now, belly button tight. Bring the bent knee back to the center. Bring that extended leg back to the center. Woo! Release the strap. Clap the hands. Ooh, do that again. And let's rub some feeling into the palms, into the fingers. Oh, that's good. Now we got to do the other side. So grab your yoga strap, find that middle place or close to the middle, place it along the bottom of the other foot, and then bring it into the sky. Lay that back of the heel on the floor. If you're doing the seated version, grab your yoga strap. Woo! Now you're not just grabbing it. You got to be vigorous with this. So you're pulling, bend that knee and push into that yoga strap. Decide if you want to slide your hands up the strap a little bit and then wrap your wrists. I like to do that because it allows me to be a little bit more strong in this posture. If it's spicy for the back of the knee, bend the knee just a bit, but you're still flexing that heel away toes towards you. It's got to be vigorous, okay? Y'all going, okay. I don't know if I believe you, but okay. You can look this up on sciatica.org. It's Dr. Lauren Fishman's study on 12 yoga postures for easing osteopenia, osteoporosis. I took that training. I was in the study myself. And so here you go. You got to hold vigor in your postures to make it count, to make it be bone building. Now, the other foot, let's tap, 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 get a little vibrational energy going on here. I love it. And then take the knee out to the side. Oh, there you go. Now, leg that's in the air, drop it out to the side. Don't let that opposite hip start to roll up. Get to a sweet spot and then re-engage. Pull, push. And I mean, let your vigor happen right here. Be strong. Be strong. Woo. If you need to come out of a posture, you may do so anytime. You do you, okay? Just do what you can with what you got today. Again, pull, push, pull, push. Woo! Sometimes my muscles spasm, so I do have to back off. And again, that kind of happens sometimes, all right? You're not used to doing movement sequences, that might happen. Couple more seconds here. Again, we got to stay here to get that bone building benefit. BBB, as I like to call it, bone building benefit. I have another one that's like that. Firm foot into the floor, FFF. Okay, yeah, I'm being weird, right? Yeah. Belly button tight. Bring the bent knee back to the center, the straightened leg back to the center. Be slow, be slow. And release. Release the strap from your hands. Also, oh my gosh, I'm all kind of stoved up here. Woo! Clap the hands. Do that again. Okay. Get some feeling going back on. 2 weeks ago, we did Reclined Pigeon with Piriformis Bounce. 4 weeks before that, we did the golfer's grip, letter T, arms overhead extension. That's the one we're going to do next because we want to get into those hips, into the inner thighs, the outer thighs. So grab your yoga block or your stuffed toy or your ball. You're going to take the medium width, whether you're seated or laying on your back in between those legs. There you go. And I'm going to walk my feet a little bit towards my behind just a bit. And then readjust my block bit. Very good. Okay, I'm going to move my strap out of the way. We'll use that maybe later. I don't know. And then from here, walk the feet into where you feel that nice little inner thigh contraction energy, whether you're seated, whether you're lying on your back. From here, we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do that golfer's grip. So remember that, right? Fold the fingers into the pad of the hands, make those little hitchhiker thumbs, and it's here in front of your chest. Then you're going to turn your thumbs towards the center and then bend your elbows to where if you're seated, it's parallel forearms to the floor. If you're laying here on your back, you got the back of the arms on the floor. Now squeeze that block nice and firm, not 100%, maybe 50%. And then from here, chin kind of tucked into your chest. And we're going to squeeze the shoulders or press the upper back into the floor and release that squeeze. Let's do that 4 more times. Squeeze, squeeze that block and release. 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 more. Squeeze and release. And 1 more, I think. Squeeze, 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 and release. Now, hands in front of your chest, clap your hands. Now, we're going to interlace the fingers, palms really squeezy. If you're laying here on your back, drop the shoulders. Make the elbows look the same. Keep a good squeeze on the block. Now, take your pelvis points, if you're laying on your back, kind of tilt them towards your low ribs so the back is into the yoga mat. And then from here, abdominals contracted. We're going to bring the arms, whether you're seated or on your back, up and overhead, slowly. You'll go to a natural stopping place, wherever that might be. Again, don't push it, okay? Mine's here on the edges of my glasses. I could take my arms and take my glasses off. And just note where you are. Belly button super tight. Slowly bring the hands back in front of your chest. Not fastly, slowly. Whew. Once you get the hands in front of your chest, kind of release the squeeze of the block, but don't let it drop. Relax the hands, clap the hands, rub some circulation back on in, because we're going to go back to golfer's grip. We do this sequence 3 times. So fold those fingers, thumbs to the center, and back to parallel arms to the floor, back of the arms on the yoga mat. And here we go. We're going to squeeze that block. Keep the squeeze of the block consistent. Release the shoulders. Squeeze those shoulders and release. Squeeze those shoulders, squeeze the block and release. 2 more. Squeeze, release. And 1 more. Give it a good go right here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the block. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Woo! Release that. Hands clap in front of your chest. Ooh, do that again. And rub some heat. Rub a lot of heat. Interlace the fingers. Squeezy palms. Shoulders down. Elbows look the same. Check, check, check. Okay, good squeeze. Maybe you want to walk the feet in a little bit more to get that a better squeeze or more squeeze. Or maybe it's not better, but it's more. And then from here, belly button tight, arms slowly go up and overhead. Not fast, slowly. You gotta do the challenge, right? Notice if you're increased your range of motion in that shoulder socket. Maybe you did. Maybe you did not. Most people do increase their range of motion. Sometimes it's harder to do this seated on the chair. So remember this for on the bed, okay? From here, belly button tight, squeeze the palms, bring the hands slowly back in front of your chest. Yay, slowly back in front of your chest. Woo, release the hands, clap the hands. We're just gonna clap once. Get some heat into those palms. Last set. Are you still squeezing the block? I hope so. From here, back to golfer's grip. Fold the fingers into the palms, turn those thumbs to the center. And then from here, drop the shoulders. Well, yeah, go ahead and drop the shoulders. And then bend the elbows. And here we go. Now I'm going to walk my feet in a little bit more. Squeeze that block. Here we go. Squeeze those shoulders and release, or squeeze the shoulders into the floor. Squeeze the shoulders or into the floor and release. 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 more. Here we go. Squeeze and release. And 1 more. Hold it here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Yay. Release. Clap the hands in front of your chest. Do it again. Okay. A little bit of heat. A little bit of relief here. Let's interlace the fingers. Squeeze the palms. Elbows the same. Drop the shoulders. Belly button tight. Now, here we go. Up and overhead. Go slow. Oh, my legs are shaking. Because we've been squeezing that block for a little bit of time, folks. I'm going to wiggle my thumbs. Can I touch the floor? Oh, that one thumb is touching. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. So it's more here on the side of my ear. Squeeze those palms, super straight arms. Don't bend those elbows. You might be feeling this in your abdominals a lot. Squeeze those palms, belly button tight, feet firm into the floor. Squeeze that block. Slowly bring the arms back to in front of your chest position. Take your time. Oh my. Once it's there, release the hands, clap the hands, rub some heat, take the block out. Yay. Now from here, walk the feet out and then come up on the balls of the feet or flat feet and shake the legs. Shake that tension out. Shake your arms too, okay? And then this might not be easy to do when you're laying on your back, but stomp your feet, whether you're seated, just kind of walk here. It's just stomp, stomp, stomp. Let me check our time here. You know what we need to do? We're going to go ahead and do pigeon. Yay. So we got and then we'll do block bridge. Okay. So we're going to take a leg up into the air, shake that leg, shake it, shake it, shake it, and shake your leg if you're seated. And then either cross at the ankle bone or on top of the thigh, whatever you can manage. Most likely ankle bone if you're seated, but you got to come away from the back of the chair. You take your hand if you're seated and you pull the knee towards you and let it release. Thread that strap underneath if you can't easily reach that, okay? If you're lying on your back, take your hand and push the leg away or grab your yoga block to push the leg away. So we're moving, we're warming up the piriformis muscle for that reclined pigeon. So again, great for releasing issues with sciatica. Woo! All right, now we're going to add some vigor to the posture. How are we going to do that? We're going to make everything still and invite your toes towards your knees. So activate that calf, and whether it's on the ankle or on top of your thigh. You're sitting up tall if you're doing the seated version. And then you're going to squeeze both buns, squeeze, and then take your fingers, push that top leg away. If you're seated, you're sitting up tall and you're hinging. You grab your knee, you grab your foot, hinge towards the top leg. It might get spicy. Just know that, okay? And then the bottom foot, press that bottom foot also firmly into the floor. So you got some different kind of contraction energy going on here with reclined pigeon. Squeeze bones, push the leg away or use your own muscular strength. Sit up tall, hinge forward if you're seated, press into that bottom foot. Woo! Lots of stuff going on here. And then relax everything. Whoa. Bounce that top leg. In fact, take it off, shake that top leg, wiggle that top leg, and bring it on down. Shake the legs again. Shake, shake, shake. Walk in place. Shake, shake, shake again. Now let's do the other side. Bring the other leg in the air. Shake it. Woo. Wiggle it. And then either cross at the ankle or on top of the thigh. And then we're going to bounce the piriformis. Pull it towards you if you're seated and let it release. Or push it away. You can't, that's not easily done seated because you're, sitting on your bottom. Here on the back, it's so much easier. Or use that yoga block. Again, we're not doing this vigorously. We're just kind of get a little motion here to ease tension out of the sciatica nerve. If it's being pinchy, you got a little spinal stenosis, a little sciatica, or a lot of sciatica, I should say. Yeah. All right, now we're going to get active in the pose. Tap, tap, tap the bottom foot, tap, 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 and then firm bottom foot into the floor. Take the top toes, point them towards your knee, activate that calf. Squeeze both buns. All right, now either use your yoga block, your fingers, and push that top leg away. If you're seated, sit up tall, hinge forward. You hand on your leg, hand on the bottom of the foot, or somewhere, hinge forward. It's going to be spicy. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Everything active, firm, pushed into the floor. Pushed into the floor, bottom foot, top toes towards your knee, squeezy bottoms. Always lose my bottoms. And then pushing that top leg away. With a little bit of vigor, but not much. But you're going to feel it, okay? Okay. Louise is going, okay. When can we get out of the pose? In just a little bit. Not quite yet. Just a little bit, okay? Woo! Are you breathing? I hope you are. I hope you're not holding your breath. And whoo, relax everything. Yay. Bounce that top leg. Wiggle that top leg. Go ahead and take it off. Shake it. Wiggle. Woo. Oh, get that energy out. And then bring that foot down. Beautiful. Shake the legs side to side. Stomp those feet. And next is block bridge. This is probably number one reason for having a yoga block is this next pose, whether you're on the bed, couch, on the floor. Okay. This one doesn't translate well for the chair. Some people don't have backs on the chair. So, you're pressing your booty up against the block in the back of the chair. Okay. But if you're here, maybe go over to the couch and try to do this at one. Okay. Go over to the couch. What you're going to do is walk your feet. You're in constructive rest pose. You're going to scooch that block underneath your backside. Use your hands or lift it up your own, body weight. Place it here low on the behind. And then I always feel crunchy here. So I kind of walk my shoulders up and away and I kind of tuck my head in towards my chest here. Woo! So there's a little a generous traction feeling happening here. Go ahead and bring a leg up into the air. And once again, shake that leg. My yoga pant is coming up my leg. That's what happens. And then side to side. This always feels weird, okay, to me. And again, shake that leg. Helps us keep in the pose. And then bring that foot down. Ooh, I feel some energy going on, some little tingling, some little sensation going on. And then do the other leg. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And then wiggle it side to side. Again, shake it, shake it, shake it. You know what? If you want to, whether you're seated, whether you're here on your yoga block, bring the other foot up and shake both legs. Hang on to your chair if you're doing this seated, okay? Shake those legs. Come on. And then side to side. Shake, shake, shake. Woo! And then bring one leg down. Ooh, y'all feel that sensation? Yeah. And the other one. Slowly. And I'm going to press into the floor with my feet, press into my shoulders, raise up, peel that yoga block off, roll my spine on down. Notice what you notice here. It might feel kind of eased out a bit. Now, you're not going to get the same sensation on the chair. This is where you want to go over to the couch and try to do this, okay? Because it's just like wonderful. Go ahead and extend one leg all the way down towards the edge of the yoga mat. Maybe wiggle, jiggle a little bit. And the other one. Wiggle those feet, kind of wiggle those hips, wiggle the chest, kind of wiggle everything. And just notice what you notice here. You might feel like more attached to the floor or the bed or the couch when you do that block bridge, releasing the spine movement. Plus everything else we kind of like built up to it, okay? Yeah. So you may want to stay here because we're going to do that guided rest and relaxation part of class. It's part of what we do here on Veterans Yoga Project. And then we have a gratitude practice. If this is not a comfortable place for you, I know a lot of us that have back challenges, there is either legs on the chair or legs on the wall. Or one of my favorites is to go ahead and bend the knees and then bring the feet more wide, like at least as wide as your yoga mat, maybe, yeah, and then drop the knees in. So that often is a comfortable place to be. And then some folks will take their yoga blanket or their big bath towel, maybe place it underneath the back of the head or cover up their bodies, depending on how cold it is in the room. Some people, they take their yoga strap and kind of double it up and put that little pressure of the yoga strap across the eyes. So that often is very comfortable, very comforting. But you can still have the eyes open, okay? So just kind of know that. For some folks, they don't want to close their eyes, and that's okay. So what I invite you to do is get comfortable, whatever that means for you. While you are getting comfortable, I'm going to come up to the front of the room and do our guided rest, our relaxation practice. So again, get comfortable. You might need to wiggle your arms, your legs, lift a leg up, then the other, whatever you need to do to get a little bit more comfortable. You may want to take your if you have a little blanket or anything, depending on your room, right? You may want to cover up your feet if you were barefooted today, or pull those socks on. Just, again, take this time to get a little bit more comfortable. Let me grab my blanket here. I'm trying to get my feet on the blanket, make it a lot more comfortable. And then however you want to get, yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. So I'm going to do, it's called a non-sleep deep rest meditation. So it's kind of like you kind of do one of these to kind of reset yourself during the day. And then at nighttime, if you haven't checked them out yet, the yoga nidra practices, which help with lessening anxiety, reducing PTS type of symptoms, help you with insomnia, help you with the repetitive thoughts type of thing. This one does that too, a little bit, but the yoga nidras are like 30 minutes to 45 minutes and allow you to continue into slumber. This is just a little during the day reset. So I invite you to just notice your breath. Don't change it in any way. Just notice what physical sensations are happening when you breathe in and when you breathe out. Try to set aside your thoughts and bring all of your awareness, all of your attention to the sensations in the body. Good. Maybe you want to set an intention. So for me, I usually say something in a positive mode, like as if it were already true. I am pain-free. That's one that I use a lot. Maybe you want to use I am stress-free, I am calm, or something else that kind of, you identify with. And we're going to say that silently, mentally to ourselves 3 times. So I'll pause here. I'll clap my hands softly for about 10 seconds as you repeat that 10 times. So here we go. Good. Now I invite you to listen to my voice. That's all you have to do. And as I take us through a little journey throughout the different places in our bodies, I will say a place in the body, and then you'll repeat it in your mind silently, and then you'll bring all of your focus, all of your attention to that place in the body. Sometimes people fall asleep during this, and that's okay, all right? So I invite you to bring all of your attention, all of your thoughts to your right hand thumb. Again, you'll say right hand thumb, you'll think about a right hand thumb, and then you'll visualize all of your attention to your right hand thumb. Good. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, right pinky finger. I invite you to bring all of your attention, all of your awareness to your right palm, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, right side chest, right side waist, hip, upper right leg, knee, shin, the top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, right pinky toe. Now I invite you to bring all of your awareness, all of your attention to the bottom of the right foot, the sole of the foot, right ankle, calf, back of the right knee, back of the right upper leg, right buttock, right mid back, right upper back, right shoulder. From here, let's shift all of your attention from the right hand side of the body. Let's shift it over to the left hand side of the body, starting with that left hand thumb. Again, the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, left hand pinky finger. Notice the left palm, forearm, elbow, left upper arm, shoulder, left side chest, left side waist, hip, upper left leg, knee, shin, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, that left pinky toe, bottom of the left foot, the sole of the foot, ankle, left calf, back of the left knee, upper left leg, buttock, left mid back, left upper back, left shoulder. Once again, notice the left side of the body, just the left side. Now let's notice the right side of the body, and then go back to the left, And once again, notice just the right side. Now let's put it all together. Let's notice both the left and the right hand side of the body, both at the same time. Good. Notice that sensation of support that's happening here, whether you're seated on the chair, the couch, or laying on your back. Notice the firmness of the floor, the chair, with the buttocks, the backside, the feet, the calves. Again, notice that firm sensation of being weighted into the surface that's supporting you, feeling heavy, heavy as a rock. Now, let's flip that to the places in the front side of the body. Notice the arms, the neck, the face, the feet. The arms are light, the legs are light, the whole front side of the body light as a feather. Let's contrast and compare that to the places in the back side of the body. Notice feeling heavy, weighted, supported, grounded into the surface that's supporting you. And then flip that to the front places of the body. Notice feeling very light and feathery. Notice both the front and the back places of the body at the same time. Good. From here, we'll do what's called an elongated breath or a long breath. This is useful for reducing your blood pressure, lowering your heart rate. So the basics are, I will clap my hands softly for 4 times. As we breathe in, expand that belly when we do that. And then we'll pause just for a moment, and then we'll slowly exhale to a count of 5. Now again, if this breath bothers you, go back to your normal breathing. So let's begin. Breathe in, belly big. Pausing, and then slowly exhale. Pausing for a moment, and again, big breath in, breathe in. Slowly exhale. Once again, breathe in, belly big. Slowly, slowly exhale. Last breath. Here we go. Breathe in, belly big. And slowly exhale. Very good. So I invite you to come back into the now, back into the present. Or if you wish to continue to be in a slumber type of state, that's okay too. But those of you coming back into the now, let's wiggle those fingers, get some little movement going on with the wrists, wherever you are seated, laying on the floor. Move those feet also, kind of wiggle those toes, move the ankles kind of side to side a little bit. If you're lying on your back, bring a knee into your chest, then the other, and just do a little slow movement side to side. If you're seated here in a chair, come away from the back of the chair, have the knees be wide, and like we're doing on our backs, seated, let's do wide shoulder circles. And go slow. Now, if you're lying on your back, if you're doing this seated, let's pause and let's go the other way. So get a little movement going the other way. Very good. Just again, nice and slow. Take it slow. Just get a little movement going on there. And then come back to the center. If you're lying on your back, I invite you to slowly roll over onto your side body and take that hand that's in front of you, slowly come up to your forearm. If you're feeling dizzy, stay there for a moment. If it's okay, come up all the way to a seated place. Now, those of us, let's all just bring that chin towards the chest, whether you're seated on the floor, seated on the chair, or on the couch. This helps with any kind of equilibrium shifts, okay? And then, you're going to be comfortable seated on the floor, or maybe you scooch over to the chair if that's more comfortable, and come to a seated place. From here, whether you're seated on the chair, on the floor, on the couch, we're going to curve the spine to the back of the room, get a good old cat back going on there. Ooh, that feels nice. And then slowly come out of that pelvic tilt to a nice tall seated place. It's called seated mountain. And then hands on the legs, hands on the chair, whatever, Hinge forward, elbows out, hinge forward for your cow. Very good. And then come back up to that tall seated place. Now, we really didn't do a seated twist or a standing twist, so I invite you to take your opposite hand on top of your leg, other hand on your chest, and with the hand that's on the chest, lead the spine to turn towards the back of the room. So we're not pushing into the hand that's on the leg to force a twist, but we're using the hand on the chest to invite the thoracic, the mid-spine to move. So it's an easy, what we call easy seated twist, not a forceful one. And then release from that, let everything kind of spring back to the center. Okay, now you're going to take the other hand on top of your leg, not on the side, but on top. The other hand on your chest, take that hand on your chest and then guide it to turn to the other direction. It may not be as much as the other side. And just, notice what you notice here. Again, easy seated twist. We don't do forceful twists in back yoga. Just know that, all right? If this is your first time. And then release from that, you kind of boing back to the center, right? Now, let's do a little lymphatic drainage by shrugging those shoulders up and down. You might notice a little excessive nasal drainage when you do this. This is an alternative method for moving lymphatic flow. Very good. And then from here, if you have glasses, place them on your leg or on the surface. And we're going to take our fingers, our pinky fingers, and press them into the sides of our nose for opening up that sinus cavity. And you press and you pull away. And you breathe in. Then you take the sides of your index fingers, place them here on the inside of your eyebrows. I'm going to bring my thumbs out. And you just basically up and down on the inside of the eyebrows. Then you move that along the length of your eyebrows. You go back to the center. Go again up and down. Go slow. Massaging that bony prominence we have at the eyebrows. Very good. Now, again, with the index finger, with the pad of the fingers, find in front of your ears here, that little notch here, and slowly up and down. You might hear it a lot. Now release from that. We're going to take, take the middle fingers this time. Bring it back behind your ear, kind of in the same area aligned with that knob, but bring it here back behind. You might have to move hair out of the way. And again, up and down. And then bring it down to the earlobe. Very good. Now for insomnia challenges, this might seem a little weird, but again, you're going to show me your earlobes. You're going to take your finger, your pincher, your thumb and your finger, and pull down on your earlobes. Pull down. Very good. It's going to get hot, okay? And then you take the middles of your ear. So it's in here in that little kind of crease there, and you pull out. I can hear better when I do that. Woo! And then you take the fingers again on the tops of the ears. It's going to feel weird. Pull up. And release. Pull down, earlobes, pull down. We do this 3 times. Do the middles, pull out. Oof. And then pull up. Nice. Last time, I promise. Earlobes down, or pull the earlobes down. This is hard to do with earrings, yeah? And pull the middles. Oh my. And pull up, 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 up. And release. Now we're going to clap the hands. Get some heat in here. Maybe you want it to do the igniting the fire. So those of you that like to do that chair or that Tai Chi class, we're having a free class on Saturday with Alan over on Willow Tai Chi. Sign up for that. It's the Yang style short form 12. They'll do a Qigong practice for about 40 minutes, and then they'll do the 12. Take the warm palms now. Place it here on the cheekbones and covering the eyes. Relax those shoulders. Breathe in. Moist heat to the eyes helps with tear production. Breathing in, breathing out. And the last thing we'll do is we're going to take the finger pads, the tips, and tap, tap, tap. Bring more circulation to our brain, more brain power. Get the sides also. We're stimulating all the meridians in the body that come through the skull. Get the back also, that roundy part, a lot of lymph nodeness back there. Again, tap, 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 tap for increased brain function, left and right. And then, oh, my watch is talking to me. And then bring your hands to heart center. It can be together or stacked. I'm gonna put my glasses back on. And just for showing up today, let's drop our chin towards our chest.